Hey besties, welcome back to my channel. Today I'll be showing you how to make your very thick Greek yogurt without having to sieve out your whey. This method also doesn't require you cooking it on the stove top. This is a fail-proof recipe. If you're interested, just keep on watching. So the first thing we need is our milk powder. Yes, you need a bowl, you need another small bowl that you use for your culture, you need a whisk, and whisk is fine, and a spatula, you need your measuring cups, and that's about it. So the brand of milk I'll be using for this recipe is Cool Cow. This is a filled cream milk, so it's not a full fat milk, but trust me when I say that the result will be absolutely amazing. Okay, you don't have to bother yourself about using a full fat milk. For me, if you're on a weight loss journey or anything, you just want to go with filled cream milk, okay, not a full fat cream milk. So I'm going to measure out 4 cups of this filled cream milk into this bowl that I have here. Okay, I love this brand of milk. I feel like different brands of milk have different, taste, and result. But over the years, I've used different brands and I kind of prefer this one. So if you're in a country where you don't have this Cool Cow, you want to find a filled cream milk that has a very good taste, okay? This is not a paid advert. I'm only sharing this tip with you. So this works perfectly. So this is the 4th cup of milk, okay? By now, you should have already boiled your water. You need hot water. So in this bowl, I have hot water. This water does not have to be boiling hot, okay, but it has to boil. You can just chill for like 10 minutes after it has boiled. And now you want to go ahead and add 3 cups into your milk and use that 3 cups to dissolve the milk first before you go ahead to add the remaining amount of water that you would need. So I'm just going to whisk it, just keep whisking it, okay? When it comes to making yogurt, whether drinking yogurt or Greek yogurt, one thing that you need to pay attention to if you don't want to have any fail when you're making your yogurt is the temperature. I will explain better in a few minutes, okay? So after whisking it, you want to go ahead and add in the remaining 2 cups of water. So to 4 cups of your filled cream milk, you are using 5 cups of your hot water. Your water has to be hot. Remember, it has to be hot. If you can use boiling water, it's fine. But make sure that your water is hot. And make sure you keep on stirring this. Mix it until everything is totally dissolved. This method does not require you putting it on the stove top, removing, the fat or at the top. No. This is what you would get, okay? This is what it will look like after you've mixed it thoroughly. And you can also, dissolve it first and also put it on your stove top if you prefer that method. But if you're going to put it on your stove top, make sure that you get to a point that before it starts to boil, that's when you want to take it off the heat, before it starts to boil. So once that is done, you now leave it to just cool down for some minutes, okay? It can cool down for like 30 minutes or more. So for you to know that it's time for you to introduce your culture, you dip your finger into it. You want to make sure that it is hot, but it's bearable. Remember, it is hot but bearable. So I have my half cup of my starter culture that I'll be using. That's actually a yogurt, okay? So I'm using Fab yogurt. This is not a paid advert, but it has live culture. So this yogurt has Lactobacillus acidophilus, Bifidobacteria, Streptococcus thermophilus, and Lactobacillus bulgaricus. Okay, this just reminds me of, days when I was in uni studying microbiology, all these terms. Oh God, memories. The most important thing is to make sure that you are using a yogurt that contains your live culture, okay? Because it's a drinking yogurt, I can easily just pour it into my milk that is still hot and give it a stir, okay? This milk is not warm, it's not room temperature, it is still hot, but it's not too hot. So if you have your sugar thermometer, then you can put it inside. But for this method, if you don't have a sugar thermometer, you just want to make sure that it's still hot. And at 100 degrees, you are good to go, okay? So you can use Habib yogurt or Farm Fresh, but make sure your brand is unsweetened. You don't need your sweetened yogurt, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and pour it in a container. Make sure that the container you're using is kind of an airtight container, and we want to quickly cover this to maintain the temperature. Remember that it's hot. We want to maintain the temperature, and right about now already have my nylon and I have my duvet. If you have a duvet, a nylon, a towel, you want to use that. Place it into the nylon, tie it, and then wrap it with your duvet. And if you have a cooler, put it in your cooler. If you can put it in your cupboard, it's fine. If you can put it in your oven, it's fine. You just want to keep it in a place that is warm, just to maintain this temperature. But the fact that the milk is hot will already help this to start to form or to start to set. And we're going to cover this and put it inside our cooler. So I'm going to put it on this tabletop. I'm not going to take it into the room or anywhere into the kitchen. I'm just going to wrap it, put it inside my cooler, and then I'm going to leave it on the tabletop for about 10 hours because I like my yogurt slightly sour. But if you don't like your yogurt slightly sour, you can leave it for 8 hours undisturbed. Make sure nobody is shaking the table. Make sure nobody is touching the table. If you have children, kids, just want to go and keep it somewhere. So I made this in the morning, and later on at night, I'll come back to show you after 10 hours what the yogurt will look like. Now, if you also want your Greek yogurt to be very, very thick, you want to use equal amount of water to equal amount of milk. I don't mean in grams. So I mean with your cup measurement. So if you are using 4 cups of milk, you'll use 4 cups of your hot water. After 10 hours, it's time for us to check our yogurt. I'm just going to remove the wrap, remove the nylon, and then we'll reveal our yogurt. When making yogurt, whether Greek or drinking yogurt, you want to be sure that everything that you are using is sterilized. Everything is clean. Your hands are clean. Okay. I'll move this yogurt close to the camera so that you can see the trap steam on the cover of the plastic. Just for you to know that when I introduced the starter culture, the yogurt was still hot. So you can see that trap steam that we maintained, the temperature for some time so that this can set. Okay, so let's go ahead and open this yogurt. Now, when you open your yogurt, you won't see any form of water. You can shake it, you won't see any form of water. So there's no need for removing your whey, straining your whey, putting in cheesecloth, putting in your fridge. No. This method does not require all that stress. Okay, if you're going for Greek yogurt, you want to use equal amounts, or you use, for example, I used 4 cups to 5 cups of water. If you want it thicker, you use 4 cups of milk to 4 cups of hot water. Okay, and if you want to put it on your stove top to cook it, you can use 4 cups of milk to 4 cups of room temperature water, dissolve it and boil it till it gets hot before you allow it cool down till it's hot but not piping hot. It's bearable but hot before introducing your starter culture. So you can see how thick it is. You can see there's no trace of water. I'll try to shake it for you to see. You can see that there's no trace of water. So your Greek yogurt is ready, easy peasy. Okay, if you also want me to show you how to make your Greek yogurt using a starter culture, maybe a freeze dried starter culture, I will show you that, but you can drop that for me in the comment section. I'm going to transfer it into a bowl now so that I can mix it up. Just take a look at the consistency. This is fail-proof method of making Greek yogurt at home. You don't need to have any headache. Okay, I've mentioned that you can use farm fresh, you can use Abib yogurt, you can use any good Greek yogurt that has live culture in it. Okay, please do not use the starter culture that you've made from your chili pepper or you've made from your lemon. Okay, don't use that because it does not contain probiotics. I repeat, it does not contain probiotics. Okay, yes, it might give you yogurt, but what's the point of taking yogurt without probiotics, without the life culture inside, without the good bacteria inside? That's what you need for your gut health. That's what you need. Okay, and like I mentioned, you can use full fat milk, but I love this filled cream milk because it has less fat, and if you're on a weight loss journey like I am, you just want to control the amount of fat that you're consuming. Well, it's just about preference. Okay, so now that I've mixed it up, you can see what the consistency looks like. It's going to loosen up a bit, but because you're still going to put it back in the fridge, it will set. If you put it back in the fridge for some hours, it will set. Like, when I mean set, I mean it won't even move. Okay, so now if you want to flavor your Greek yogurt, you can flavor it. You can use vanilla flavor, you can use any yogurt flavor, the different flavors in the market. But before you do that, you want to first take out some of it. I'm going to take out 4 spoons, okay, as I'll keep this in the fridge so that I can use it to make another batch, maybe another batch of Greek yogurt or drinking yogurt. Make sure you take it out before you introduce sugar into it and before you add in your flavors, okay? So I'm going to keep this in an airtight container and keep in the fridge. So to the remaining, I'm going to add 1/4 cup of sugar. If you are a sweet tooth or if you just like it sweet, the sugar quantity is according to your preference. Go ahead and add it into it. Stir it with your hand whisk and taste it. If you're good to go, then you stop at that. But if it needs more sugar, you want to increase the sugar quantity. If your Greek yogurt is very sour, it's going to consume more sugar. But if it's just slightly sour or not sour, then you just use less sugar, to sweeten your yogurt. Whisk it to combine, okay, till the sugar dissolves, and then taste it. You can just use a spoon to taste, okay? Be sure that you like the taste of your yogurt. Trust me, by now you can flavor it, okay? You can use strawberry flavor, or you can use a white vanilla flavor, you can use a yogurt flavor, you can use a milk flavor. Now I'm going to divide it into 2 because I want to make strawberry yogurt and I want to make the plain yogurt, okay? So for the plain yogurt, I'm going to go ahead and put this in the fridge for it to set. I'll cover it and put it in the fridge to set. So for my strawberry flavor, I'll be using Excellent Blend Red Velvet color. You can see how tiny the tiny quantity I used, and that was just about a few drops of water, very little quantity of water. You want to dissolve that powder properly before adding it, okay? There are also red food colors from other brands that you can use. Some come in liquid form. You can use that. So I've decided to add a few drops into it. You add it gradually, stir it, and check if you're at the right color that you want, okay? You add more. I'm not satisfied, so I decided to add another drop. I'm still going to add more drops, but I'm just trying to let you know that you can, pick whatever color that you want, how deep, how light you want your strawberry yogurt to be. So now I've decided to add more. So I'll just add some more drops. Yes, and I think at this point I would be at the right color. This is the shade that I'm going for. So if you want yours darker than this, it's fine, but this is the shade I'm going for. And I'm going to add my strawberry flavor into it, okay? So you can use any strawberry flavor of your choice. If you want me to also list where you can get your flavors, where you can get your starter culture, of course, any bakery supply store should be able to sell flavors that are good. And then for your Greek yogurt, you can find it at any supermarket. Just make sure that you are getting the one with the life culture in it, okay? Probiotic yogurt. Make sure that you taste the brand, okay? For the yogurt you are going to buy, make sure you have tasted the brand and you are sure that this brand is good. There's also another brand, LEZ, I think Les or something like that. There are different brands, okay, that are very good. So anyone you can lay your hands on, that's what you will get. So I don't advise that if you're going to be going into mass production of making yogurt, I don't advise that you use other brands, okay, to make your starter culture. Okay, for consistency's sake, you want to use a starter culture, maybe a freeze-dried starter culture that will give you a good result, and you are very sure that this is the brand that you'll be using, okay? So if you would like to see the video, you can let me know in the comment section. If you want me to show you how to make your yogurt with your freeze-dried starter culture, your Greek yogurt, I'll give you the exact measurements. I'll give you the right measurements and the right procedure. So you can also freeze your starter culture, okay? So just Put it in an airtight container and keep it in your freezer. Whenever you want to use it, you have to bring it back to room temperature before using it. I don't know if I remembered to mention that your starter culture must be at room temperature. Okay, you don't want to use any cold yogurt when making your yogurt. Okay, so this is the strawberry and this is the plain yogurt, and in the container here I'm just going to cover it and put it in the freezer till I'm ready to use it, and I will bring it out. Okay, that's how to preserve your starter culture. Let me know in the comment section if you're going to be trying out this recipe. If you enjoyed watching, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.